In a quiet Louisiana bayou, life moved slowly until autumn 2004, when a body was found in a sugarcane field. Michael Barnett's death seemed isolated, but it was just one in a string of murders stretching back nearly a decade. The killer, Ronald Dominique, local, unremarkable, and invisible. He blended in short, overweight, caring for his mother, working odd jobs. But beneath that ordinary exterior, he was a predator. Dominique targeted men on society's margins, those struggling, overlooked, or simply seeking connection. He offered rides, money, or friendship, luring them in with false kindness. Once alone, his mask dropped, revealing the monster beneath. His victims were young men, often transient, whose disappearances rarely raised alarms. Dominique chose them because they were easy to overlook. For nearly 10 years he hunted in the shadows of Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes. The community knew him as Ron, the quiet man at the corner store. But he was the Bayou Strangler, hiding in plain sight. No one suspected the man next door. He moved like a ghost, his crimes unnoticed. The horror played out quietly, a deadly pattern no one saw. Dominique's method was simple, his cruelty devastating. He preyed on the vulnerable, counting on their silence. The bayou's peace was an illusion, shattered by a killer no one saw coming. For years he was just another face in the crowd. But behind that face was a secret one that would haunt Louisiana forever. The nightmare had only just begun. To understand Dominique, you have to see the outsider he always was. Bullied for his weight and shyness, he grew up isolated, never fitting in. That loneliness twisted into a hunger for control. He started with petty crimes, testing boundaries, growing bolder each time. His appearance, short, stocky, soft-spoken, became his camouflage. He looked harmless, even pitiable, never dangerous. This let him approach victims without suspicion. He was the neighbor, the man you'd forget after passing on the street. His invisibility was his greatest weapon. Dominique lived among his victims' families, hiding in plain sight. He was everywhere and nowhere, a constant, unseen threat. The community never saw the monster behind the mask. He was the invisible man, committing horrors while blending in. No one realized the danger until it was too late. For years, the murders were seen as isolated tragedies, unconnected, ignored. The victims were men from the fringes, their cases overlooked by media and police. No one saw the pattern. The killer moved undetected. Then, disaster struck. Hurricanes Katrina and Rita devastated Louisiana. Law enforcement was overwhelmed, investigations stalled, evidence lost. The chaos gave Dominique cover to continue his crimes. The storms created silence, a gap in the investigation. While the state rebuilt, the Bayou Strangler hunted freely. The devastation shielded him, letting the nightmare grow. The community's focus was survival, not justice. Dominique thrived in the shadows, his crimes unnoticed. The storm passed, but the horror lingered. The silence allowed a killer to claim more lives. The break came not from detectives, but from a survivor. In 2006, a man escaped Dominique and went to police, giving them their first real lead. His story provided a description and a method, finally, hope. Investigators re-examined evidence, using DNA to connect the crimes. The results pointed to Ronald Dominique. The net closed quickly. On December 1, 2006, Dominique was arrested. He confessed to the murders of at least 23 men, showing no remorse. The quiet man from the bayou was unmasked as a serial killer. Dominique pleaded guilty, receiving multiple life sentences. Justice was served, but the pain for the victims' families endures. The Bayou Strangler's story is a chilling reminder evil often hides in plain sight. Sometimes it whispers from the shadows. The community was left to reckon with the horror it never saw coming. The nightmare ended, but the scars remain. Dominique's reign of terror was over, but the silence he exploited will never be forgotten.